Okay guys, we're back today. Y'all have any questions about the stuff we've gone over? It's kind of a rhetorical question because I know y'all don't. So I just kind of say it just to kind of start class off. So it's awesome. Anyway, guys, please tell me y'all are using the software stuff.
All the time.
Even lie to me. I don't even care. Just tell me you're using it.
I'm using it, but I don't know if I'm using it right.
Some of the stuff, and then yesterday I tried adding a number and then I messed something else up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm gonna show you, especially on the numbers, because numbers is a little bit tricky. Because like over here in the Auto Magic, sometimes when you put it on a number, what it wants you to do is it's giving you commands. So when you push the number that you want, sometimes it's a command.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a selection in there that says add text. So add text might be 4, but the number you need to put is 8. But you have to go in there and push 4, then push 8.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you've messed around with it a little bit, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But when we get to numbers, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? And we may do it tonight. I may just give you some numbers and you can write them on your machine, and then we'll kind of go to it like you're going to change it, and then we'll see what it does. Okay? But from now on, for those of you that didn't bring your machine, did everybody bring their machine?
Am I the only one?
One singling you out, but Shannon
all right.
didn't bring her machine, so I'll just
It's
put that
okay.
on the record.
I'll bring it tomorrow.
Did anybody else not bring their machine? Okay, from now on, bring your machines. We're going to start doing stuff, okay? Guys, we only have about, excuse me?
8 weeks.
Is it? We have that long?
Slow down.
I thought we were like 6, 5. But
I do have a question. I know we covered it, but I can't remember exactly where it was. How do you make it a capital at the beginning of a sentence? Like if you
S. Wait.
hey,
I'm sorry.
Hey.
all
I'm
A
thinking.
or just A?
Be in hyper.
I'm
this,
thinking.
in hyperkeys
I'm
is
thinking
8.
this finger is S. Yeah, I get it mixed up.
If you're not in hyperkeys, then it's it's and she's back. It's F6.
F6. I forgot.
So if you're not in hyperkeys, or even if you are in hyperkeys, you can do F6. But I want you to start using the hyperkeys, okay? And to toggle back and forth from cap to non-cap is A. Okay? Any other questions about anything?
Finger.
Nothing? Okay. So now today, guys, we're done with the remedial part of Eclipse. Okay? We're moving. All right? So now we're going to really start using it. So now start bringing your machines. We're going to start doing stuff. Okay? So it's going to start getting good. So if you pay attention and use the stuff that I'm telling you to, it's really going to help. It should have helped already. But for those of you that were waiting for us to start bringing machines, now it should really start helping. Okay? So, I mean, you shouldn't have waited for that, but, I mean, we are where we are. So it's going to start moving now. So we're going to talk about adding or removing lines or paragraphs.
Let's see how to add lines into paragraphs. Speed key F8 is good for both new and experienced users. It opens a menu that you can use to insert or modify a paragraph. The menu lists every paragraph that is a part of your user settings. If you just press F8 and then enter, that inserts a fixed paragraph. But if you know exactly what kind of paragraph you want to insert, you can use speed keys, which have been set up for the most common paragraphs. For example, Shift F5. That's the speed key that inserts a fixed paragraph.
So we've talked about this a little bit too. Okay? Sometimes on Tuesday, you know, some of you guys aren't in my Tuesday Q&A class or whatever, and that's okay. So we've kind of talked about it there. I know that I've talked about it in this class or whatever. So really what I want you to do is just kind of, you know, do some stroking on your machine, writing words. I don't really want you to do like speaker identifications or stuff like that. So just write words that you know and do about 2 or 3 lines real quick where you have like 2 or 3 and just write. Just write anything. You can write, you know, and, but, the, is, can, will, you know, all the proper, to where you have about 3 lines of words, okay? Welcome.
This isn't within the lesson, right? We have to bring it.
And that's all for today. So, as what's your name walks in. Do what?
I said, do we open up a new file or can we can't do that within the lesson? We're doing.
No, not within the lesson. I want you in real time. So, guy, I apologize. That's my fault. Once you bring your machines, now I want you on a real-time page because we're going to start doing stuff. So, I mean, if you can flip-flop from the lesson to a page, then great. If not, then just stay on the page. Okay? Let me know when everybody's done.
Are you able to have the lesson and
Yeah, you can kind of toggle it, but it's a little bit. I mean, just all you have to do is just pay attention to mine. Okay? Yeah. Does everybody have it? Does everybody have it? Who doesn't? Imagine that. One that showed up late.
I'm sorry, what did you want us to talk, just various things?
Are you kidding me? We've been sitting here for 45 minutes and you still...
I was
Just
in the
words.
lesson.
Just
and I had to
words.
get-
No, just words. So
Just-
a, and, the, but, can, whatever. Just write words. Whatever words. Write what I'm saying. You know, anything that I'm saying. I just want you to have like 2 sentences or 3 sentences of stuff, and then I'm going to show you how to do some stuff with some paragraphs.
Can you talk at 60?
Right. What I'm saying.
I have it. You can write anything, but, be, and, is, will, to, where, all you have to do is like 3 lines of words. That's
Okay.
all for today.
Everybody have it? Okay. Now what I want you to do is come right here and put your arrow, I don't know if it'll, yeah. Put your arrow right there on one of those lines. Does it have it? Huh?
F?
Guys, it doesn't matter if it's an F, D, G, elemental P. Just get in here where it has a little box.
That just means centered.
So F means a fixed line, so it's fixed. C means centered. Okay, and then you're gonna have P for like parenthetical or, you know, stuff like that, okay? So what I want you to do is click on that little box. And it should open up, it should open this up.
Paragraph data.
This, I mean, look. It should open this up. Does everybody have this?
Similar.
Guys, pay attention, please. Pay attention, because I'm not going to say it 16 times. Okay? Is everybody here? Does it have this?
Yes.
So you can select any of these. Select it. Mess around with it. You know, you can put a question, answer. You don't really need to come to this to do that. If you're going to do a question answer. What's a question? And an answer.
Four.
Absolutely, okay? But a fixed line, parenthetical, centered line. So go in there and select centered. And it may not, you may want to get like on the 3rd line where you don't have as much. Or you know what?
It centered everything, you can see.
Yeah. Yeah. So did everybody get it? And pick, pick a couple of them. You can pick a fixed, you can pick centered, do a question, answer, any of them.
See a parent better. Invents it. Ooh.
So really what I want you to do is go on the first line.
Right flush would bring it over the right side.
What I want you to do is go on the first line,
Weird. Because it's
and
not
everybody
right.
picks centered. Okay, so go on the first line of your little transcript thing and pick C for centered. Are you serious?
I hadn't done it centered a while ago, but I don't, it centered it, but I don't know whether it bring it up.
I know that bothers me, not having it lined up on the left side. Oops.
It's a rocket. Well, see,
Oh no, I got it. I don't do that either.
when I traced it, he just kept yelling and I was like, and I was like, ding! Got it.
He gave me the idea.
I don't know.
So let's say we do
Yeah, just words.
3 more round, 4 out, and then maybe a name.
There's like 10 of those. This stuff. This
But
stuff.
with that,
Yeah.
with the travel,
This one.
that's what I was.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and I'm not this rough and stuff, so it's because my suppliers don't, we don't do that stuff like.
Centered, okay, centered. Okay, guys, everybody there? Okay, what I want you to do, everybody's on a centered, the first line and it's centered, right? Okay, so what I want you to do is get on the first word of that sentence. You're there. You're there. Don't worry about it. And do Shift F5.
Oh wait.
Now that takes you to a fixed line. Now push Indent or Tab.
Oh, is that how you do it? Gosh. What?
My tab goes to the middle of.
Does yours never tab? Like when you try to tab things?
No, my tab goes to the middle of the page. Like it won't tab in 5, like it's supposed to.
Oh, mine did too,
Mine
but
tabs
at least it
in the middle of
tabs.
the page. That's too far.
Maybe it's the settings
Yeah,
on the
tabs
tab.
are just the settings. Cause see, mine don't. Look at how narrow mine is.
Mine went to 10.
I got it.
Right?
I fixed it.
Where?
Okay.
On settings?
No. I dragged it.
So, like, there's your
Oh,
thing.
there's
You
the
can click and drag it to 5. Bingo.
Ah, beautiful. Thanks, Kiki.
Okay, guys, you should be there.
Oh yeah, look at these.
Right. Dana, now we know.
So what you can do is your first tab over, was it 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, see, it should be 5.
Yeah.
And we'll mess around with that a little bit later, but that's kind of how you do it. So if you go back, you can back up, backspace, and then just kind of space bar 5.
Oh.
Or you can drag.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Awesome.
That's how you do it. We'll mess with your tabs later. But really what I wanted to show you how to do is to get to a fixed line. So, say you're there and it's like, oh, I need a new paragraph. Just start a new paragraph. Remember where I told you, don't start with a capital, end with a period, and you have 16 lines for your sentence. Okay? Guys, they're gonna start counting off for it. You have to start paragraphing. Okay? And not just anywhere where you're supposed to, where it makes sense. Not just, yeah, right here. In the middle of the sentence, I'm going to put a new paragraph.
We can't press Alt backspace to undo any of this.
Alt backspace?
That's what it says, or the keys to
You mean
Z.
like Z?
Z is the oops.
Oh, look at all these words.
But it's not a command that you're doing. You know, so it's not really going to, it's not really going to undo anything. Like a tab's not a command. Okay? The commands are on your hyperkeys. Okay? So that's what it's going to fix. Okay? But don't freak out if you have to do a few things manually. Okay? Backspace, arrow over. You really shouldn't. But I mean, sometimes there is times that you have to do it. Okay? So don't freak out, all right? Don't freak out. All right. So got it? All right.
Got it.
Is for speaker paragraphs. Think of as a blank line. F3 is the speed key to insert a question paragraph, and F4 to insert an answer paragraph.
So y'all know how to do that, right?
Yes.
Does everyone know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you that don't, guys, one, if I ask you a question and you don't know how to do it, please answer me, okay? If you don't know how to do it, somebody else probably doesn't know how to do it too, and is scared to say the same thing. I'm going to be the only one who can explain. Okay, so don't freak out. All right? But get on a word in the middle of a sentence. Okay, you're on a word?
Yeah.
And just push F3.
It's going to turn into a question if I do that. But
So
it
that's
turns
how you do it cute. Now do F4.
answer.
Same line. Yes. Yeah. So that's how you do your Q&A. So say you're in the middle of a thing and you accidentally didn't push the answer symbol, but you know that's where the answer goes. That's how you do it. So you can be in the middle of a sentence like, yes, I did. And it's like, did you go to the store? Yes, I did. And it's not question, did I go to the store? Answer, yes, I did. It's question, did I go to the store? Yes, I did. Well, you know he wasn't answering his own question, right? Those of you that do.
That's all your videos. That's for this. Oh, that's published. Can you open up a real time first? You have to open it up. Open up the, I would open up the real time. Start that up. And then see if you can pull this.
You know what? You get peanut. I actually have. Okay. So
I'm just saying you could probably open one up if you have, like, you're practicing. Do you practice with me? Yeah. Try to do 5.
but I do have the transcript.
Oh, it's the last one.
Last one.
Which one?
Maybe.
Probably because you're in Eclipse.
For me, I'm like, oh, so I'm like, bipolar. This is my. It doesn't taste like tomato. Right spices. And I'm like, oh, Christmas. I have been online before, but like not my.
Should I stop this thing? I mean, it's like a lot of.
My family because my grandma died. You know, she's the one. So now I have to go to other people.
But that's, yeah, that's not good. No, reopen it because sometimes it doesn't work if you're in the help lesson helper. So now open a real time.
Why do you get your cousins in to do the?
And then you should be able to pull up a file.
So I make tamales.
Guys, so sometimes if something's not working, you may have multiple copies of Eclipse on. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay? So everyone knows how to do question, answer. You know how to do a fixed line. And actually what you can do is get somewhere. I just did some stuff. I want you on a smaller line. Yeah, that's good. So get on a shorter line. It doesn't really matter where. Yeah. And then do Alt C as in cat. So that's how you center a line. So you don't have to go to the little arrow, the little box. I'm showing you different ways of being able to do it.
And it'll center just that one line, not
Yeah,
the
so
whole.
be careful where you're at because you need to be on the beginning of that line in order for it to center that line. You can't be in the middle of the sentence. If you're in the middle of the sentence, it's going to go from that word forward. Oh, does that make sense?
So, if we start getting it's just that line, it's a little line, it doesn't.
It'll bring the other line.
It takes it
after.
down. I see what's doing.
I don't know if everything after or just
So,
after
because
that,
I just
end
wanted
of
to
that line.
watch. I think it does all of them, but it's
No,
like
no.
that, like if I do center.
Does that work? Or we have to
Use
set
the-
up?
use the-
Why not?
Because my machine went.
Well, it shouldn't because if you're editing your
Because here, then it does everything past this point, right? And,
maybe it's under like where do you save your files at?
so just that is.
Well, I think they just say,
This
Yeah.
paragraph though.
you know what I mean?
Those are it.
You see, because this is a paragraph.
Yeah,
I'm not
R2.
every line. So when I fix it,
Have you tried maybe something before?
but.
Wait, which one did you pick on?
I did this one because this is the most recent. 628.
You know what I'm
That's right
saying?
now, so that would be.
Oh, it tells it.
Yeah, it does.
That's the
As a
paragraph.
matter of fact, we should
Because I stay in a paragraph and that's.
we just did.
Yeah.
So guys, one of the students, pay attention real quick. One of the students had a really good question. What's the difference between a fixed line, which is what?
Control. Oh, the
Shift F5.
Shift F5, and Control P, which is a new paragraph. Nothing. So do Control P. Get somewhere and do Control P.
Oh, that worked great. Nothing.
I was trying to open up.
I'm just gonna stick it somewhere else. I'll stick it here. There he goes.
So if you notice, all it does is make a new paragraph. But if you look out to the side over here, in this little thing, it still says F for a fixed line. So really, huh?
Well,
Mine has little a.
You did Control P and it says A?
Little a.
Yes, but also when it brought down to the line, it went over 15
Lowercase
spaces.
a.
I don't know. Mine says F.
Paragraph.
Oh, for fixed.
Yeah.
It says answer paragraph is what it does. Oh, because it's right after, it's right after.
Does
the
it
A.
matter that
Yeah.
that's my center?
No, that's not
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
You're right there on kitchen.
Same word that controls are.
Why does it do answer paragraph?
You want this going?
Because
You want me to turn
it's
this off, or
underneath
do
the
you want to
answer.
keep this
That's
going?
No, mine is not.
What's that?
Mine is not underneath an answer.
Use fast forward.
Because really what it, guys, pay attention. What it should be doing is giving you a fixed line.
Yes.
Okay, now it did it. But I think it was doing it because we were under the answer thing.
And that might be it. If you're in Q&A, which you shouldn't be,
We just.
well, I mean, yeah, because I asked you to kind of do it, so yeah, you might be. But, I mean, really what it's going to do is bring you, it should bring you to a new paragraph. But if it doesn't, then all you have to do to join it back, pay attention. to join it back to where you were is Control J. So do it. So if you had the little A, I don't even care if you had the little A, if you did the fixed line. Get where you were, do Control J. Pay attention. I don't want to say it 19 times. Huh? No, what it does is it joins it back. So it brings it back to where it was. Did it?
Yes.
Okay, it did. Yeah. So say you're getting that little A, but you need a new paragraph. How do you do a new paragraph? Or Shift F5. So even if you're in and it's bringing it to the little A, I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's because you're in an answer. Maybe. But I don't know why. Maybe that's why. But if not, then just do the Shift F5 and it's going to give you a new paragraph. Did it?
Yep.
Yes, it did.
Question.
Yeah.
Can we set it to automatically do the indent when we hit
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to. But I mean, you don't always want it to indent. Guys, pay attention. Guys, when I'm talking, I mean, it just goes. It should go silent. Okay. If I'm talking to another student, you can talk to other, you know, or just kind of keep talking, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You know, and I want you to interact with other students. Hey man, what's it doing on yours? What's it? But when I start talking about something, please pay attention, because I don't want to say this 19 times. I want to go through this, get it done, and be done with it. Okay? So the question was what? Oh, why you don't want it to indent? One of the students was asking, hey, when I do Control P or when I do Shift F5, can I get it to automatically indent 5? You don't always want it to do that. Okay? You don't always want it to do that, trust me. Okay? And it's not that hard to do the tab. Shift F5, tab over, it's good. Okay? So there's method behind the mayhem. Any other questions about that? So question, answer, changing the paragraphs here. So I just told you different ways of being able to do it. You can change it right here. Click on this little thing, brings up the box. You pick whatever you need. Or you can do Alt-C, which is center, Shift F5, which is new paragraph, Control P, which is new paragraph, which are both fixed lines. Okay? Any questions?
Here I need a question. Here I need an answer. F2 is for speaker paragraphs. This should be a speaker paragraph. F2. The speaker table opens. I'll press 2 for Ms. House.
Okay, let's do that right now. Get somewhere in the middle of a sentence
I'm running out of sentences here.
and push F2. Or not, whatever you want to do is fine.
That's right. Oh. She's looking at mine.
I don't know.
She's looking at mine, right?
Everybody there?
Give me that stick.
You open up your box for your speakers, choose
That's
one.
cap, right?
I don't care really which one.
I'm writing it down.
Oh, you only have one?
You know, you can print.
And some of you are going to have lots, some of you don't. If you want to add one, go into the blank space that's above where the prompt kind of usually is. Okay, so what I want you to do is type Mr. or MS and your last name. All in caps.
Which one? Does it matter?
Yeah.
I'm just out of curiosity, when we have a speaker line, what is the index supposed to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. So guys, this is called colloquy. When it comes up in the middle of the page like this. So it's not going to be at 5, okay? And it's not going to be over here to the left. It's going to be in the middle. And that tells the reader this is colloquy and people are speaking. When it's over here, it's usually a byline and somebody's asking questions, okay? So when it's in the middle right here, that's where it's supposed to be, okay? And then it's going to start right there, and then it's going to come all the way back to the line. So don't worry about, it's not going to all line up right here. Okay, it should come back, and that's the way that it should be. Okay?
After. Right? Okay.
Okay. Is everybody good?
Yep.
Everybody knows how to add the speaker?
Yes.
Go into F2, you can add it whoever you want. Add as many speakers as you want, whatever, okay? So that's how you add a speaker.
We've been inserting paragraphs, but here's how to change one. You could move your cursor from the typing keys to the mouse and then click on the paragraph button at the left edge of the screen and select the paragraph you need. But it's usually faster to just put your cursor in the first line of the paragraph and press the home key a couple of times until the paragraph label blinks.
So you can do that too. So there's always multiple ways of doing things. Okay? So one, all you have to do is put your arrow in there and left click on it and it's going to light up. Do it. Get on your speaker, left click. Is it lighting up, blinking?
Yes.
Push F2 and change your speaker. Change it to whatever you want. You can put Mr. Zarate. So everyone add that speaker to your speaker list. Mr. Zarate. Z-A-R-A-T-E. It better not be S or C.
Mr. Z.
Yeah. And then change the speaker. Did you change it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now get on the first word of that sentence where it started and now do home, home. The home key.
It goes back to the main system.
So the home key should be on your right hand side somewhere up above. Y'all see the home key?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's blinking.
Is it supposed to be all caps?
Oh, there's my home key.
Try it if you want. Want to try it? Yeah.
I think I have to use this is kind of
Oh, okay. Oh, you've done
Because I was here.
Yeah, because he's saying that's another way to get there.
Okay, guys, what it should do is it should, guys,
Oh, okay.
real quick, it should take you into the speaker. Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be blinking.
Yeah.
Change it again. F2.
I get it.
So they're all caps
Okay, so it should go in there. Open up the F2 again.
in caps.
Is correct formatting all caps for speakers?
Yes. So when your speakers, it should always be all caps. Okay? It should always be all caps, unless the person that you go to work for tells you otherwise. But it should always be all caps.
Question, so like, would you put a period after Mr., Mrs., Ms., or whatever, or would you just, like...
Yeah, I would. After Mr., it's Mr. period, whatever. So it's still keeping it
So keeping the punctuation.
proper. Okay? So it's still the way that you would do it any other way.
Would you usually just do the last name?
Yes. I mean, unless you have like a
Two Zarate.
Mr. Johnson, a Mr. Jack Johnson, and a Mr. Steve Johnson, then you know. But the thing about it is like this thing is already in the middle. So like if his name is like Jonathan Mazahari, so now you have Mr. Jonathan Mazahari, and then you have Mr. Abdul Mazahari. So now you have it going off the page over here, and then the sentence is starting over here. Then I would do Mr. A. Mazahari, Mr. J. Mazahari. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, you want it to start on the same line. You want, you know, and sometimes it just, some people just have long last names or whatever. So, I mean, but figure something out, okay? Any questions about that? So you have two ways of getting into this. Arrow, left click, or home. Okay? Yes?
Yep.
Then you can use a speed key. F3 for a question, F4 for an answer, F2 to select a speaker. Would you like an even faster way to change paragraphs? Then use hyperkeys. Your cursor can be anywhere in this paragraph when you press capital Q for a question, capital P for answer, and control 1, 2, 3, etc. for different speakers.
So remember, you can do it in hyperkeys also. Okay? Really, that's... Yeah. So try it. Get into hyperkeys,
There you go.
which is what?
Alt
Z. Y'all don't know that one.
Are you want me to do it again?
Oh, but
You want me to do it again?
It's Shift Q.
Or did you take it off of hyperkey?
Oh, lady.
Oh, Shift Q. I always do F3.
Well, I'm trying to show you a different way.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Shift
Yours is
Q.
probably control. I mean function.
Oh, I switched the function.
You did?
Yeah, because I didn't like having to go like this.
So you put the function back on?
Yeah, so because otherwise I'd have to hit like 3 keys all at
Well,
once.
now you're going to have to do that. Function, Shift, Q.
Function Shift Q.
Get right there on Pete.
Oh, I see.
There.
Yeah, and do
What
function,
happened?
Shift,
Here,
Q.
so I got on the word there, and I didn't see there.
If I just do Shift.
And I just put Q, and it put it
No.
It should have been Shift Q, so I did Shift Q here, and then I came up here.
Oh, so that's what you were trying. So that's what we kept doing the same thing over and over
So
again.
it has to be,
What were you thinking?
well, yeah.
Because you said
Yeah.
keep doing Q, and it was just staying on Q.
Oh, okay. So that's how to change it. Like if you're in an answer, that's how to change it to a question. And if you're in a question, that's how to change it to an answer.
Function Shift.
It just changes it within that format.
But that's what I do that way is it doesn't add an extra
Adding
line.
a Q is what?
Oh, be there. Not here.
Yeah, F3. Okay? Everybody got that?
Yep.
Any questions about that?
Nope.
All right.
So control 1 or control 2.
Oh, that's nice.
2 final commands, Control P for paragraph continuation and Control J for join paragraphs. Here the speaker paused for a long time and then continued. Control P. Again. However, sometimes you want to join paragraphs. Then the command is Control J. Control J to join this paragraph to the previous one.
So say you accidentally hit, it's an answer and it's a long answer and you accidentally hit a question symbol. And it's supposed to be part of the answer still. How do you join it?
Control J.
Control J. Control J brings that answer back up. Okay? So write this on your machines. Does everybody know how to do question answer? Please tell me.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We didn't have a great.
Well, you should get your money back.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know how that goes. So do question, symbol, question on your machine, question symbol. Please state your name. Answer. Guys, don't worry about if it's coming out correct, okay? If it's not, don't worry about it right now, okay? Answer. My name is Jack. Period. I live at question 3301 Main Street.
I can't do that. I can't do
That's
that.
it.
I can't hit anything
On
tonight.
3. Get on.
Going off my shoulder like, oh. There we go.
Everybody have it right?
What's the question? Question for the Main Street?
Did you talk about it?
You said question, right? You right what you
Did
hear?
say question, but I don't know if it was like one of those, you know, the whole,
Oh.
what do they call it?
I don't know.
You know, Jack, and then it went to a question, but then the question, you know what I'm trying to say?
Maybe.
Everybody have it?
I know what I'm thinking. Just can't say it.
Okay. Get on 30, that 3301. Get on that. Get on that first 3.
Took me like 5 times to write it, so.
Am I on hyperkeys?
And hyperkeys, correct?
Yeah.
Everybody else, get on the 3301. Okay, everybody on there? Do Control J. Get on the 3.
I was, Tina, I was trying to fix this.
Oh, now we know. I wrote question
Do
like
Control J.
E. I was like, what?
On your
He
computer.
said, I wasn't even here.
That's
You're
your-
just debating why in the world is.
Dana, you're so long. You're so long.
Because
It was an obvious colon. I'll never forget.
So get on the number, do Control J and backspace. See how we joined it?
I already know what it does, but okay.
There's still an extra space.
No, you're supposed to get on control. Okay, so this is supposed to be a question, like, or like, how do you do it? Function shift? Or is it function shift Q? Or is it like, no, I don't need.
It's supposed to be cute.
There.
Guys, pay attention. Did it work?
Yes.
It should have joined that.
Okay, I better write it again. That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay.
So all you do is get back on there, backspace, and then it takes out the
Punctuation.
it takes the punctuation out and joins it and just joins the sentence. So don't freak out that you got to do all of this stuff. It's not that hard. Okay? Control J. Remember that. Joins. Joins the paragraph back. Okay? Any questions? Okay, that's the end of that. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Oh, you're not
Jesus,
serious?
lady. All right.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Okay, so how do you insert a new paragraph? Or Control P. Okay, now get somewhere in that sentence, in one of those sentences, just get somewhere in a sentence. Are you there? Okay, let's just say, okay, do Alt-N. So Alt-N is going to bring this up. So now you can do all kinds of stuff. Alt-N. Remember this. Alt-N. Don't write it down. It's not very important. Highlight it. Alt-N. You can do a page break. So say you're at a page, and it's like, you know what, I want to start a brand new page. And say you did a test, pay attention, pay attention. Say you did a test, and you're like, you know what, I forgot to get in a new page, and I did my test. And I kind of want to keep the other stuff that I did because I want to mess around with that or whatever, but I want to keep this as a test. Okay. But I don't want to keep it that close to the other thing, so I want to put this on a brand new page. That's a page break. Okay? So now do Alt-N, page break. Should have put it on a new page. Did it? Okay. Now, if you notice, you're on line 23, but here is 1. So put your cursor down there. So say I want to get on that page break and take it out. Okay? Arrow left. Arrow. Go back. Arrow left. So see how it puts it on that page break? It should be a gray little thing that says page break.
Oh, I see. Yep. So
see how it's on page break?
It goes page break.
I did it and then I did it again and it went away.
You see what that
Pay attention. Pay attention. We're not splitting atoms. Okay? Everybody's on the page break?
Yes.
Got it? How do you yank a line?
Control Y.
Control Y deletes that line. Do Control Y on the page break.
Woohoo!
You're already there. Just do what I'm telling you.
Control Y.
Okay.
So now it puts it back to where it was. It should have. Did it?
Yep.
Okay. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. We're not splitting atoms. We're not building rockets. Okay? Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. So now what you can do is like, and I'll teach you later, but like when you put your title pages in, when you put your certificate pages in and stuff like that, you don't want the direct examination, byline, totally different page, question, that. You want direct, byline, question, same page. Okay? So now you're going to have to do a conditional page break, which are already in your block files. So they should be in there. When I give you the block files, it's already going to be in there. So you don't have to worry about it. So it's going to keep those things together. So say you're on line 24 and you're writing or whatever, and you put this direct examination in, and it says direct examination byline on page 5, and then it goes to page 6, and it's on a question. It's not going to do it. Not with my block files. Okay? Because it already has a conditional page break in there that says if your direct is on 24, your by is on 25, and your question is on 1, it's going to put it all together and it's going to move it down to the next page. So you're going to have 2 lines on page 5 of nothing. And that's okay. It's all right. You know? You want those together. You want those together. Or if it switches, I'm trying to think of where else you need it. A condition. Like on your appearances. On your appearances, and say you have a bunch of people in that hearing. And you have Mr. Tom Jones with the law offices of Tom Jones, 3608 Blanco, and then on the next page, San Antonio, Texas, 78205, bar number, blah, blah, blah. No. All of that's going to be on the same page because it has to do with the same guy. Okay? So you might have a conditional page break, but if you don't, then you need to page break it onto the next page. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Does anybody not know what I'm talking about? All of that needs to stay together. So that's where you would use a page break to put that on a different page and make sure it's on a different page. Yeah.
What's the byline?
The byline is when it says direct examination by Mr. So-and-so. It tells the reader who's asking the questions. Yeah. Not like by,
No.
although you're getting close. No, I'm just kidding.
So I guess there's page break and conditional page break.
Yeah. The conditional is if. The page break breaks.
Okay.
Is definite. Conditional is, well, maybe you need it. You might need it. So you can do a conditional page break at like 3 lines, which is what the examinations have. It's a conditional page break at 3. And we're gonna get to that on how to do conditional page breaks and stuff like that too. Okay? So I just wanted to show you what Alt-N does. So you can go and do a new page number, header, footer, the beginning of an excerpt, the end of an excerpt. You can do all of these things right here. A lot of that you're not going to use. Page break, maybe new page number. So you can even do that. Like say you took that test and it's like, oh man, you know what I want to do? I forgot to close it out and I did my test. But I don't want my test to say page 10 when I print it. Okay. Then do a new page number. You can do a page break, new page number. I want it to say number 1, even though it's page 11. Doesn't matter. Okay? And we'll mess with that a little bit. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay, this is just kind of going over what I've already said. Control P, paragraph. Control J, joins it. Okay, so joins a paragraph. Got it? So you see what they're doing right here, and I think this is a your turn. Okay, so let's just say right here, is that all? Do you have more? What do I do right here?
Insert.
Huh?
Insert? Wait, an answer?
No, I want to put this up here.
Oh, Control J.
Yeah.
Control J. So do it.
We're not even on.
My man, for the people that are watching the video more. So that's what you do. Control J. Try it. Do it. So if you're if you forgot your machine and you're in the lesson, do it. Okay?
Oh gosh.
So there's even ways of, you know, like a guy, like an attorney will ask a question. So what I'm going to do, pay attention guys, pay attention real quick, eyes up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join all of these questions. Okay? Is that all? The guy didn't answer. Do you have more? See, I think it's a different thought. So I think it needs to be on a different line. What I'm going to do is make another paragraph. Do you have more? The guy's not saying anything. No answer. Don't put anything. Do you intend to answer? So by putting it on a different line tells the reader something's happening there. It's a different paragraph. He's not just saying, do you have more? Do you intend to answer? You know, there's a little pause in there that's telling the reader, you know, hey, something's going on. This guy's just sitting there or whatever. You don't have to put a parenthetical in there that says, whereupon the witness just sat there. You don't need to do that. By doing this tells the reader they're not answering. Does that make sense? So there's like a pause there because you put it on a different paragraph, okay? And then by doing it again, tells them, you know, we'll need a verbal answer, please. The guy still doesn't answer. So then he goes, Judge, we need this guy to answer. Now you've gone into colloquy because the guy's talking to the judge, or he says, you know what, Judge, are you going to instruct the witness to answer? Well, he's still asking a question. Does that say in question form? No. It's in colloquy because he's talking to somebody totally different. He's talking to the judge now. He's not talking to the witness anymore. Okay? Does
So
that make sense?
how would he write, like, so we know who's talking, would he put, you would put the name of the lawyer because he's addressing the
Yeah.
judge?
So you'd hit the symbol for the attorney. Judge, are you going to ask him to answer? Sir, you need to answer the question. So now the court's talking to the witness. Okay,
But that all goes over.
yeah, it's colloquy. Now it's set up in the speakers. Now it's not set up in Q&A, even though they're asking questions. Judge, are you going to ask him to answer? Do I need to ask him to answer? Well, I asked a question. Is he going to answer the question? Do you need him to answer the question? They're asking questions. He's wanting an answer, but it's not Q&A. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No? Does anyone not understand what I'm saying? Everybody understand?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't think so.
Ay, Dios. Okay, just what I've been telling you. Control Y yanks the line. Yanks the line. The whole line. So if you want just a word, what is that? D for delete. Delete a word. Okay? So be careful with that. So you can be in the middle of a sentence and you can do Alt Y, get in the middle of a sentence.
You want me to get on
Yeah. You get on I have.
I have her? I live?
I don't care.
And you want me to do?
And do Alt Y.
Oh, it takes the distance of the
And you see how it just deletes from there on? Did
Just the
everybody
end of
get
the
it?
line, but not
Yes.
the actual
Yes.
paragraph.
Okay.
Got it. Not the whole sentence, just the line. Okay.
You see how it did
Got
it?
it. Because if you did Control Y, it would take the whole thing out. No, it wouldn't. So then I'm getting mixed up.
You see how it just does it from there to the end of the sentence? Did everybody get that? Alt Y. What does Control Y do?
Yanks.
The whole line. That's just,
Oh,
the whole line is Control Y.
that's from the line to
Be
the end.
careful.
That's what.
But just do Z a couple of times to see if it comes back.
Yeah.
It should bring it back. So let's just say you needed to yank out the whole line, or let's just say you yanked out the whole line. So get on a line and do Control Y.
Here, 'cause that's Control Y.
Okay? Now do Z. It should bring it back. So don't freak out because it's like, oh man, I just need it from there to the end of the sentence. Okay?
So you hit Alt Y.
Don't, Z brings it back. Z is the oops.
Like, it's not working.
Main Street. And then Shift Alt Y. Does all of it.
Oh, yeah, it takes up the whole paragraph.
Or from the cursor to the paragraph.
Or, yeah.
Because if I just did at and then I did shift Alt Y, yeah, that takes. Okay, got it.
I use that like when I have to go every
Let's see if I have that on my Google Dropbox.
when it puts an extra line. So before I can adjust it, I go back. Control Y.
Control Y, yes, delete the line.
Bring up.
You're going to get to a point where you mess something up and you're not able to bring it
Yank
back.
remainder of line and yank remainder
You
of
know that this
paragraph.
thing works every time. Does everybody's oops button work?
No.
Most of, some of the time.
It has been for some of this, but some of it, it's not.
Guys,
It's not very
you
forgiving,
can't do
is
a
it?
function and then go on and do something and then come back and do Z and think that it's going to correct it. You have to do it then. It's like, oh man, I messed it up. Then push Z. Okay? If you do it then, it should work. If it's not working or sometimes works, you're going to need to call support because it could be a function in your computer that they need to modify or something. But you need to know that this thing works every time. Because if you mess something up, let's say you mark something and you delete it, it's gone now. It might be gone forever. And you know, instead of doing the Z and doing the oops, now it's gone. Okay? So you need that function to work.
It won't stay in your center line, in your center line.
I'm sorry?
Will it stay in your center line?
In your stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't delete. Like say you deleted a portion, it doesn't delete the notes. The notes should still be there, but now you have to go in and do to insert all of that stuff, and you may have had 3 paragraphs of stuff that you deleted or you thought you were moving just because your oops doesn't work.
Could you
Okay.
hit retranslate it to translate those notes or to bring
Yeah.
those back?
But
Instead
let's
of
say you're on
reading your notes
page
right
99 of 100 and you yank something and you yank the whole page. You're going to read that whole thing back in?
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, and there's ways around it, guys. There really is, because really what you could do is go to page 1, go to the whole bottom of where you are, copy it, and then put it into a different file, and then read that job back in, and then you could have it again and then just redo it. So, I mean, there's ways around it, but now it's a longer process. Okay, hopefully we don't have to do that just because your oops key works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. It should work all the time. Okay, so now we're going to talk about oops and delete.
Let's see how the oops and delete keys work. The oops key can undo editing steps. The command is Control-Z or hyperkey Z. For example, if I add a suffix to specific and I pick the wrong one, I could use the oops key to undo my mistake. I like to think of the command to move back to my last edit point as a movement oops key. The default speed key is Shift-Alt-L, but the hyperkey is capital Z, that is Z with the Shift key. If I accidentally give a command that loses my editing spot and perhaps opens a dialog, I'll immediately press the Escape key and not do any further editing until I've pressed the movement oops key.
I use that one all the time.
So sometimes you'll do stuff, and let's just say you're in somewhere and it's like, oh, I need to type elevator, and I did E, and it takes you were on page 4, now it takes you to page 167 where there's a field form.
Because you forgot to hit your hyper key off, or your N, so.
You forgot to hit in, and E is to put in a form field. Don't freak out. Just push escape, just like they said, so I'm going to back it up just a touch. You know, and it brings you into one of these. This is a form field, fill in a blank, okay? So now it's like, oh my God, you know, push the escape or push this. Don't do all of this stuff. And that's what it just told you. Don't do all of these functions, because then it's not going to remember what you were doing. Get out of this, start pushing Z, and it should take you back to the place where you were. So pay attention to what they just said.
Further editing until I've pressed the...
Don't do any further editing. Once you start doing editing, then it just thinks that you started, and now it may not go back. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it will still do it, but you don't want to take that chance. Okay, so don't start trying to do all of this stuff. Just push the oops key, which is what?
Z.
Z.
Movement oops key. To delete a whole word, just press hyperkey D or speed key Control backspace. Here I doubled this word. I'll delete it. To delete one character at a time, press hyperkey capital D or use the delete key on your computer keyboard.
So y'all already know that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The letters on the hyperkeys are the smaller letters. Okay? Those are the functions that you're going to use the most. So delete a word is what you're going to use most. You're going to want to delete a word more than you are delete a character. Okay? So D does what?
Deletes a word.
What about Shift D?
Deletes a letter.
Deletes a character. A character at a time. Okay?
Sometimes you rewrite a line and then you want to delete it during editing. Control Y will delete or yank the text of the entire line. But Alt Y will only delete from your cursor position to the end of the line. And Shift Alt Y will delete from cursor position to the end of the paragraph.
You get that?
Yep.
Now that's one where if you do the wrong one, it could be a lot of text. So that's where the Z comes in, and that's where you need your Z to be working all the time, okay? All you do is push Z, puts it back up there, no big deal. But that one is Shift Alt Y. So you could have a sentence that's 3 lines long, and it's like, you know what, I need to yank this whole thing, that whole sentence. I need to yank it. You don't have to go and just start delete, where it's just deleting all these words. Guys, time is money. Time is money. So now it's like, I need to delete that stuff. I know it needs to be deleting. Shift Alt Y. From there to the end of that sentence. Okay?
Let's say I included the wrong certificate page in this transcript. I could hit the Mark key, then Control page down to get to the end of the file, and then press the Delete key. Eclipse will ask if I really wanted to delete that much of the document, and in this case, I'll answer yes.
See, like that is different. Okay? Like, say you have pages of stuff you need to get rid of. So now you marked it, which is what?
M.
M or F7. F7 will mark 2. So there, you know, I'm going to teach you different ways of doing it. So if you forget one, hopefully you remember the other. But M, page down, and it's going to mark that whole thing till you get to the end. When you do the mark like that, and you want to delete stuff, now it asks you, are you sure this is what you want to do? Yeah. When you do Control Y, it doesn't ask you, are you sure you want to yank this line? It just does it because it's a command, and it thinks that you know what you're doing, which hopefully you do. But for some of you, or most of you, that's what the Z is for if you don't and if you did it wrong. So, you know, what I want you to do is mess with this stuff, and when you mess with it, now you get more familiar with it. Now you know what to expect. Yeah?
What would be an example of you having to get rid of that much text?
Like if you accidentally put in your certificate page and it shouldn't have gone in there. Or like you got in a place and you pushed Alt-R, Enter, and it's like, oh my God. Alt-R takes you into a block file. Okay? And let's just say you push Enter and it's like, I meant to push Escape, but I pushed Enter, and it put this whole title page in there that's 4 pages long. You don't need it there. So you need to yank that whole thing out. Okay? This is where printing your document is important before you proofread it. Pay attention. This is good when you do that, because sometimes, and you can't see it, sometimes these block files have page breaks in them. Now all of a sudden you're going along, well, it doesn't show up when you're reading it on your document. Did you see that? That's why I had you arrow over to get to the page break, remember? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't show that it's there. All it shows, and it may be line 23, and then all of a sudden you're on 1, well, you're not paying attention to the lines, you're just going along. Okay. And you print it, you were on line 3, and then all of a sudden there was a page break in there because you forgot to take the page break out, and now you have a sentence, my name is John Smith, and it goes down 14 lines to the next page, and then I live on 3301 Main Street. Because you didn't pay attention, and you sent this file out, and now it looks all jacked up because you didn't pay attention and you didn't take that page break out. When a simple backspace, take the page break out, that's all you had to do. That's why you print and proofread. That's why. Okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do it because we're going to be putting in title pages, certificate pages, stuff like that, and you're going to know how to do it.
Is there a way to tell Eclipse to show those kind of, because I mean you can hide, you know, you can hide different things in the program, but there's no way to
I don't think so.
To show page break?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen it. And maybe if you're messing with it one day, call support and ask them, hey, you know, is there a way for it to show up on the text or, you know, whatever, where it doesn't show up on, because really what you want it to do is when it prints, you don't want it to say page break. Well, it doesn't say page break. Okay, it just has the thing on there for you when you're editing. But when you send it out to somebody, it doesn't say that. Does that make sense? And I'm going to teach you, there's other things on there that tell you things that it's for you. It's for you when you're editing, not for the reader when they get it. Got it? Okay. Any questions about that? Nope. Oops.
Nope.
Okay, I'm kind of skipping over this stuff because this is stuff we've already gone over. How do you put a question at the end of a sentence if you're already in the sentence? Q. Q puts it, huh?
Hyperkey Q.
No, it's just Q. It should just be Q. Capital Q, Shift Q changes
To
the
the-
paragraph
To the question.
to the question. Okay? So if you just want a question mark at the end of that sentence or whatever, you just push Q. P for a period. Okay? And that's just what it's telling you right here. Okay? But it's hyperkey, so it's Shift P for a paragraph. And that's what it's telling you right there. To change a paragraph. Okay? Any questions about that? No?
We're good.
All right. Alphabets. Okay, they teach you that if you want to stitch a word together, that you have to use the ampersand. That's what that's called. The and is the ampersand. Okay? So if you wanted to, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't do it. I don't stitch any of my stuff. So if they ask you, you know, hey, spell your last name, S-M-I-T-H. I just do S period, M period, I period, T period, and it just puts it all together in caps. Should I do it this way? Yeah, probably. And I should, but I don't. Okay, so when I go through and edit, you know, when the reader, you know, if you're doing real time and the reader reads it, I mean, yeah, you probably should. You should do it this way. I just don't. Okay? But if you go into, if you put your, let's just say it was Rolfe, and it's R-O-L-F-E, okay? Mine's going to come out R-O-L-F-E. It's not going to come out R stitch O stitch L, okay? So it's going to come all together. But over here in your Auto Magic, it's already going to have it as one of your, so all you have to do is push, put it on the first letter. Actually, you can put it on any letter in that thing, and it's going to ask you, is that what you want? Yeah. Push number 1, automatically does it. Now it looks like that. Not
When
that
you
big of
do
a
that,
deal.
does it automatically put it in your dictionary?
No.
No. Okay.
No. So if you select Auto Magic, it doesn't put it in your dictionary. Okay?
You have to globally.
So, you know, they have things, so like, you can use the A period. The A period for me is the capital letters. The A comma is the smaller letters.
I did, I redefined that.
Okay? So, I don't really know, I don't know that I've ever used it. Like the smaller letters. You know, I guess if you're, you know, just spelling something out, then I guess you can use the smaller letters. But I don't really use the smaller letters. So maybe if you wanted stitch, maybe you can use it with the smaller letters. Let's say you want it all together and you just want it in caps. Okay, then do the A period. But you know what? I want it stitched and I want it in a capital letter, but I want it stitched. Maybe you can use the A comma. And if you do, then you have to go through and define each one of the letters.
The comma, when you do the comma, it just takes out the period. So you have all caps, but the letters.
That's because it's defined in your dictionary like that.
Oh, so you define so you define yours differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how's it coming out?
Without like it just comes
Erased all
out
those.
the caps with no periods. When I do the A period, it comes out
Period.
periods.
Oh, okay.
Here's in the front. Does that
Yes,
come out in
it does
here's in
go.
front?
Yeah.
And this with the asterisk, it comes out lowercase and spaces in between.
Does it exactly the same way? So yeah, I mean, you can do it with the like an A asterisk, B asterisk, C asterisk. So try it and see how it comes out. And then do A period, B period, C period. See how it comes out. And then A comma, B comma, C comma, and see how it comes out.
This is right, some dude, some y'all.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's just going to be the way that it's in your dictionary. So if you want to change, then you're going to have to go in your dictionary and change it.
So,
You can search all your alphabets
Say
just
you want
by
it to be
going
ampersand,
Yeah, see, I already
dash
find all of
G,
mine.
or dash
I just
G,
have 2.
then that's what you have to do. Well, it's going to stitch you. The ampersand means that's put it together and then it needs to be stitched.
at anyone I want.
Yeah. So if they're saying Smith, S-M-I-T-H, S dash M dash.
If I was using a period, I would have to like ampersand A with
You,
braces.
guys, be real careful the way that you're doing this if you're changing this in your dictionary. Guys, pay attention. If you're changing this in your dictionary, be real careful. One, this is what you want to do, but 2, make sure you're doing it right with the brackets. Okay? You have to do it correct the way that it's telling you to. Pick a way that you want it to do it. Okay? So if this is the way that you want to do it, and say you want the A period or the A asterisk to be that way,
I want the A period.
Created macro, so I can
Period A.
now everything after the stitch.
So when I do the A period.
Then what if you don't want it to stitch?
Then I just, then I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
So when I do like A period, I get period A. The period comes out before.
That's because it's defined like that in your dictionary.
Yeah.
So So
So do R comma.
They just come out altogether.
No.
And if I want periods,
Do R comma
But, so you can just do
and then do
oops, I hit
O period, L period, F period.
answer.
So that's how you do it. If you want to read the periods.
Oh.
Okay, guys, pay attention real quick. Real quick. Okay, most of y'all are doing the letter period, I mean like A period, B period, C period. So it's putting period A, period B. Okay, you don't want the period before the first one, right? Okay, so try A comma, and then B period, C period, D period.
I'd already redefined it, like you. So, that was like a long time ago.
45 minutes. See how it comes out? Now it does it with the periods, where it doesn't do the period, A. You don't need the first one to have the period. You need the ones after that to have the period.
Yeah, but let's say you end the sentence on whatever the last letter was before that sentence, you ended on H, then the H doesn't come out with a period behind it, so you just say period again by itself.
Yeah. Should. It should. Try it. Try it. Does it? Huh? Does it? Try it.
Should it be stitching?
So I can spell it out. Yeah, I think we spelled out how to put a period in line, right? If you're spelling something out, you should just together. You would only put.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But, I mean, you're right, period.
Well, it's going to have it in the automagic key, in the automagic anyway. So it's going to do it anyway. So even if it comes out wrong, just put it in the automagic, select it, you're going to be good to go.
It's not,
Okay?
it's not an option in automatic.
What's that?
Stitching.
Huh?
It's not an option in automatic.
Well, you know what, guys? One of the students is saying it's not giving her an option in her auto match on the R period, O period, L period, F. Okay? So get on that. Get on the game. Yeah. Just come back in.
Yeah, this is number 6. There it is. Right there.
Okay, got it? Okay, mark it. Mark all of those letters that you want marked. Just keep doing them. All right? And now push dash.
Oh, yeah.
Say you want it stitched.
It only does it there. 'Cause
I'm sorry. Mark.
Cheers.
Duh.
Still functioning.
Yeah, and just keep doing it. No, not functions.
That works. Or you could hit. Let's see, that's not, my Z's not working right I forgot.
See what I do?
That's what I'm trying to do.
It doesn't give me the option for any.
Do it, you do it. Because I'm not doing this.
It doesn't do it. It doesn't erase it.
It doesn't erase it.
Or it doesn't go back.
Oh, there it is.
Did you edit anything?
Yes. I put dashes in between my words and my letters.
And it didn't lie.
So maybe just go back and, well, I mean, it's easy enough to just go back and select it.
Yeah, and then if you press dash in, then it can out.
Yep. So nice. Okay, so.
Like everybody, just like a wedding. It's like cheers that there's going on.
Great. Really, keep it all I had no clue what it even occurred to me that she were recording for, because I.
Okay, everybody got it?
Does it?
Okay, so that's one of the ways that you can stitch it too, is you mark it and then just push the dash and it'll mark it. Okay? Or, huh? It'll stitch it. What did I say?
Mark it.
It'll stitch it. That's what I said. Point.
Mirror. Mirror. Mirror.
Mirror. Look in the mirror.
Mirror.
Yes. Go inside or 2 weeks before.
Any questions about that? That's just capitalizing alphabets. Not that big of a deal. Not splitting the atom. Any questions? No? Yes?
I'll have my questions.
When I bring my machine.
Well, you know what? I usually keep my machine in the car, but I took it out last night because, you know,
Shouldn't keep it in the car.
no, so I don't have to take it out, in and out, because I come to therapy, so.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
Okay guys, I'm going to go through this, but it didn't really pertain to you. But I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay? Yeah. This is for real people. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is for when you get out. Okay? And then you have WAV files and stuff like that, and this is going to show you how to be able to play your WAV files. Okay? Which doesn't really pertain to you right now. Okay?
Do you do it?
Oh yeah. I mean, the WAV files, guys, awesome. It's really awesome. Like you can be on page 94 and you get right there and push play and it starts playing right there.
Oh, wow.
Let me just tell you how big of an advantage that is that you guys have. When Jesus and I took our first depot, we took it on these things called cassettes. Some of you cats may not. Do you know what a cassette is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either one of y'all. Do I have a wandering eye still? Either one of you guys. I'm pretty young. Do y'all know what a cassette is? We used to have to record on a cassette. Guys, and if you're on 94, and let's just say, you know, I do it the old way in my old court where they said, hey, Dave, you know, we need that transcript of that hearing today. Okay, well, it was in the morning. We only heard 64 hearings that morning, and mine was the third to the last one. And out of 299 pages, it started on page 284. Really? So now, fast forward, play. Fast forward, play. You could wear your foot completely out because you had these little foot pedals where you could rewind and fast forward.
The transcript. Yeah, transcript.
Holy cow. I had a bunion on my foot from doing this. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, this is how, yeah, this is how far it's come. This is how far it's come. You can be on page 348. You know what? I need to start from page 348 and go to page 389. Okay, go to page 348, right where it starts. Put your cursor right there, push play, and it starts playing right there. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's, oh God. I wanted to hug that guy that invented that. And so did my bunion.
Kiss his bunionless foot.
So if I walk with a limp, it's why, because I've gone on foot pedal. But, I mean, you can even fast forward it to where it like, if I'm on a spot and the guy's talking real fast and I know, whoa, I need to replay it back. All I do is push Alt-J, J plays it, push Alt-J again, it stops it, push Alt-J again, and plays it from right there again.
Oh, and you can speed it up and
You
slow
can
it
speed
down.
it up, you can back it up a second, forward it a second, back it up 10 seconds, forward it 10 seconds. So every time that you push Alt-J, you know, you could put it right here, but you know what, I want it to back up 10 seconds. Well, it's going to come up here. So say you wanted it to play right here, now it's going to come up to this sentence. And say you want it to back up, you know what, because when I push play again, I don't want it to play right there. I want it to, where my ears get ready to where I can hear it coming. Now where it starts right there, and I can hear it coming. So I can hear the inflections, the voice inflections of where a sentence starts, where it ends, was it a question, was it a period, stuff like that. Y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Amazing. Really cool stuff.
So how do you pull it up?
Well, y'all can't.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really matter, okay? But when you get out, not if, when, you can come back to this thing and look at this, okay? You don't really need it right now. Yeah, and you're not gonna need it, okay? But it's actually pretty cool.
Let's see how to adjust your recording and playback volume levels on computers that run the Windows 7 or Windows Vista operating systems. I'll click on the Windows icon in the lower left corner of the desktop, and then select Control Panel. Next, I'll select the Sound icon, and at this screen I'll select Recording. This screen shows me that I have 2 microphones available. I'll pick this second one because it has some interesting properties. Now let me click on the Properties button, and here I'll click on the Levels tab to see the current level at which this microphone is set for recording. Let's also see what's contained at the Custom tab. Mic Boost is an option here. This may help on my computer, so when I'm running my experiments, I want to try a recording with Mic Boost turned on and another recording with Mic Boost turned off. Okay. Also click on Playback and check the properties of this set of speakers. Click on Levels, And here's a general volume control. And also this computer's sound card lets me listen to the microphone as it's recording. Of course, I would only want to do this if I have a set of earphones plugged in. Then I could click on this icon to unmute the microphone playback. However, you only want to do this if you have a pair of earphones plugged in. Otherwise, you'll hear squealing as the microphone and speakers fight each other. I'll again click on the Windows icon in the lower left corner of my desktop and go to Programs, Accessories, Sound Recorder. Now I'll start recording and see whether I'm getting a very strong signal as I speak. If the green bar is not moving at all, that would tell me that my microphone may not be attached or that the volume level may be set very, very soft. If the green level were to appear extremely large, that could tell me that I'm getting a recording that is too loud and that would be distorted. When I stop the recording and save it, this version of Windows places it in my Documents folder. So now I have an untitled sound file. I'll now be able to listen to the kind of recording that my computer and microphone are producing, and I'll be able to check whether the sound level is too soft or too loud. So give this process a try to ensure that you produce the best recordings that your computer has to offer.
Would you do that with every job if you were on depositions,
Yeah.
or just?
The next time I do that will be the first time I do that. You don't have to. You don't have to do any of this. But just for the thrills of watching a video, you're welcome.
Yeah, the
I have
sound
no
wave
idea.
videos. Woo!
I have no idea what they just did right there. But your machines, which I have the Diamante, so all you do is plug an external microphone into it. And if you look on the back, if you have a Diamante, look on the back. It has a little microphone and then it has a little headset. So you plug in the microphone. When you get out, be sure you know which one you're doing. What do you have?
Oh, it's a wave. It wouldn't have sound.
It may.
I doubt it. It's got
No, it
a
doesn't.
reset button, a USB,
But
and a
this
power.
one does.
Okay.
It has the microphone and the
Yeah.
Because that's a
And yours
professional
should too.
machine.
Yours is the.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you
student
know, if
ones
y'all
don't
want to,
have
y'all can
that.
come look at Sylvia's and see it. It has a little microphone on it and it has a little headset
And what is,
on it.
what is
And
hers?
Huh?
She has a
Hers is
Diamante.
She has a Diamante, yeah. So, and all you do is plug it in for the mic, and then all you do is plug in for the headset. And there's a place where you can turn up the volume, turn down the volume, and on the machine, it has this little thing that jumps. So it's showing that it's recording. If that thing's not jumping, it's not recording. Been there. Done that. Scary. Run. On fire. Not good, okay? So, I really don't know about this. I really don't. I've never gone through this whole process right here. You know, and I think what you can do is if you're hooked into your Diamante, which we may try that.
Okay.
Bring a headset one day. You'll need an external mic. I may bring mine. And we'll try to hook it up and try to see if you can hear it through your computer. And I think you can. So you don't even have to be hooked up to your machine, you know, because they you know, maybe you're taking something down and they say, you know what, Judge, we want to approach the bench. And we want it out of the presence of the jury. So you have your microphone up there. All you do is slap your headphones on. You can hear everything. That external mic is amazing. Mine was expensive. But I tell you what, you want something good. Because when you're going through and editing your job, you want something with